Right, hello guys, and welcome to today's video. In today's video, we're going to be playing some Call of Duty Ghosts in 2024, more specifically the Xbox One version of the game, because of course, this did have a 360 version and an Xbox One version, as we made that changeover back in the day from the old gen to the new gen, well, which is now also the old gen, but we're on the new gen. I'm also playing this through the Xbox Series X, so if you guys are wondering if you could do that, yes you can, because of course, we have reverse compatibility and stuff like that. And yes, I'm playing Call of Duty Ghosts here in 2024 on my Xbox Series X. In fact, I don't even need reverse compatibility, but you can actually go back and play the 360 version through your Xbox Series X's, Xbox Series One as well. Me personally, though, I'm going to stick with the Xbox One version just because it is obviously supposed to be the better version, you know, better graphics, better FPS, all that stuff. Not going to be playing 120 FPS in that because it wasn't quite that era, but it's nice to have a few solid 60 frames, you know. But we're going to play it today, see how Alive is, which isn't looking too good. As you can see, players online, 133. I'm not too shocked at this number, to be fair. I couldn't imagine this game was going to be very popular. But we're going to see if we can matchmake. We're going to see how Alive is. We're going to see how well it does. So, loading up into some Team Deathmatch and Warhawk. And we're going to go down memory lane a little bit and talk about Call of Duty Ghosts. So I want you guys to let me know your opinions down below in the comments. What did you think of Call of Duty Ghosts? Is it one of your favourite cards? Is it an okay card? Or did you hate this card? Because I feel like a lot of people, I don't know how to put it. I don't feel like Ghosts is hated, but I don't feel like it was loved either. I recently did an era video as well, like about Call of Duties and the best eras. And of course, we talked about the Golden Age and that. And we spoke about Call of Duty Ghosts. Ghosts was put in the Golden Era along with Black Ops 1 to MW1 to MW3. Which I think somebody was saying was quite controversial. Now, I understand that sentiment. The only reason I really put it in there was just because the era that came after Call of Duty Ghosts, of course, was Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare. Those were Call of Duties that were all jetpack games, of course. So I feel like it didn't belong in that era, but I also don't feel like it belongs in the Golden Era. It seems to be that card that was just in between. You know, it wasn't quite great, it wasn't terrible, but I'm not sure what to think of it otherwise. I'm not sure what the consensus is of Call of Duty Ghosts. It seems to be either loved, hated. It's like a Marmite game. That's what I'd say on it. As far as what Ghost brought to the Call of Duty series, I can't say it brought a lot to the series, if I'm honest. You know, the hit detection was okay. The time to kill was a little bit on the fast side, if I'm honest. We'll load that we'll finish the game there. But, you know what, we'll go into the next game, of course. It was nice to find a game quite quickly, though, which is very surprising. Like, for only 133 people online, that doesn't even mean 133 people necessarily in the Team Deathmatch playlist. That was relatively easy to get into a game. Play a lobby. Of course, we don't know what the connections are like. There was no ping bars in this game. There was no ping numbers either. So you kind of have to go off a feel and kind of you'll notice whether it's a bad lobby or a good lobby. But yeah, Call of Duty Ghosts, an interesting one to talk about, to say the least. It didn't have the greatest maps in this series, but it still had some good maps. Like I think Warhawk was an okay map. I think oh god, what was the map called? It's the one with the hot dog stand. I can't remember the maps. This is the problem as well. I have. It had some good maps. But to be honest, I can't even remember them, which shows how much of a classic they are, I guess. They're not really infamous ones like a firing range or a nuke town. And in my honest opinion, I want you guys to let me know down below whether you agree or not. I think what let Call of Duty Ghosts down was the fact that it was the game that came after Black Ops 2. Because anything that came after Black Ops 2 was going to have to hit such crazy heights to be better or even be as consistent, you know, and as good as Black Ops 2. I think what happened here with Ghosts was people liked Black Ops 2 more. Black Ops 2, of course, is considered one of the greatest, if not the greatest Call of Duty ever made. And people played Ghosts and they just didn't want it. They didn't play it. It didn't have that Infinite Warfare effect where people just completely didn't play it. But far less players played Ghosts than Black Ops 2. And I think Black Ops 2 was the game that everyone went to. This also was the era where we changed over from 360 to Xbox One, and of course vice versa, PlayStation 3 to PlayStation 4. And I think that had a little bit of an effect as well in the game. I think that did, like, die it down a little bit. I think it wasn't the best card to launch with on a new console, was it? Imagine if Black Ops 2 had launched on an Xbox One. Man, what an insane moment that would have been. But we didn't get to the era, of course. It was Ghosts that was the chosen game for it, or had to be the game for it. And, yeah, I don't feel like this game did anything wrong, but I don't feel like it did anything right either. I don't feel like it added anything to the series. People complain, I guess, about the camping in Call of Duty Ghosts, which is one thing that can be spoken about. And other than that, there was not revolutionary kill streaks. There wasn't really a revolutionary game mode. there wasn't too much that really set the game alight or set the world alight. And I mean, obviously we got the IEDs and the camping, which I did speak about. It is quite notorious in this game. It's safe to say it still lives on, even in 2024. We're still living with the IED and the camping and that. And it's weird because I think back in the day I'd have probably raged at that, but of course it's fun to go back and play these games. I like to see where these games are at, how they're doing. And it's safe to say this game's okay, you know? It doesn't seem to be hacked, doesn't seem to have an issue really. But I wish it'd done a little bit better. I think Call of Duty Ghosts had a chance to do better, but coming after Black Ops 2 was always going to be a difficult feat to beat, unfortunately. And well, like I said, Black Ops 2 being one of the best games of all time is always going to be a difficult. And there had to be a game that was eventually going to lower that bar, was eventually going to lessen Call of Duty. And unfortunately, it seems to have like changed the path of Call of Duty forever. I don't know if people will consider this the turning point of Call of Duty as well, but like in a bad way. Let me know down below what you think of that. But do you think this game necessarily changed the game for the worse, like made the series, put a series on a downer? Of course, I think people also assume that because of the way Ghosts was and how popular or unpopular it was, determined like all these changes we got. For instance, the jetpack era that came soon after. But if you guys know surely that the development cycle of Call of Duty is a like 3-year cycle of that. So those jetpack games were always going to come no matter what, whether Ghost was successful or not, of Call of Duty, you know. And that was from Call of Duty just trying to be different. But I don't think this game was that bad. It had a nice time. Again, the time to kill might be a little bit too fast, actually. I was going to say it's a nice time to kill. It's a little bit too fast, I'd say, for a Call of Duty. But the hit detection, I mean, look at how clean this connection is. For 100 and... how many people? My aim's a little bit trash, but that's me just trying to, you know, get used to 60 FPS and playing at 60 hertz, I believe, or 80 hertz it'll be on. It's a 80 hertz, sorry, 80 field of view. It's a little bit different, but it's not too bad now. Oh god, see, there's definitely someone up there camping, I imagine. But yeah, that's the only thing that sucks about this game. I think the IED was so notoriously annoying in this game that it did plague the game a little bit. It was a little bit of an annoying thing to go through, having to get people out of those rooms camping with the IED. And yeah, I think maybe that's what set it off for Call of Duty. I think this game was labeled as a very campy Call of Duty, which it is, of course. There's no denying that. We're seeing it here still in 2024, people going back and using the IED. I want you guys to let me know down below, though. Do you still play Call of Duty Ghosts here in 2024? Do you come on here every so often? Is it an okay... Oh, okay. Did I kill him? I think I killed him. Yep, I just about killed him. But I am using the Vector as well. An interesting SMG. One of probably, in actual fact, probably one of the most overpowered SMGs that was ever added to a Call of Duty or ever used. Obviously, people are going to talk about the UMP and stuff from the classic cards, and, you know, we'll talk about the MSMC. I wouldn't say the MSMC was overpowered in Black Ops 2, but I'm sure people will bring up those SMGs. But this here, this and the MTAR, absolutely ruled this game. They were by far and away the two most dominant guns in this game. But there was other guns as well. The AK-74U, you had the Honey Badger, which was interesting. It had a good set of like guns and weapons and classes and stuff. But as you can see, that you weren't doing that in any other game with an SMG. You can kind of do it nowadays in Modern Warfare 3 a little bit because of how strong aim assistant that is. But the time to kill on these weapons are absolutely insane. Like, I think that's because of the time to kill being so fast. Oh, I didn't even know. See, that's another problem with this game. Spotting people was very, very difficult. It was... I don't know how to put it. It just felt like you couldn't spot people quite clearly half the time. Ooh, a little bit of lag there. I don't know if you guys saw that, but still, this game's holding up very well in 2024. Like, as far as playability and that, like, would I recommend coming back on here and playing it? Sure, I could say that. That's if you enjoy this style of game. This, you know, the only problem is there's a little bit of camping with the IEDs, and that is definitely something that never really got dealt with, never got really made, how would I put it, feasible in this game. It definitely ruins the experience a little bit, having to deal with people camping with the IED in that. Is that what turned people away from this game? I don't know. But I personally think this game was okay. I enjoyed Search and Destroy in this game. I think this game had one of the most underrated Search and Destroys, like actual just ability to go in and play Search and Destroy in the entire series. It was very fun. It was very good. The maps seemed to be built for Search and Destroy, it felt like. more than anything else. But as far as TDM went, and domination, and capture the flag, and all those game modes, none of those game modes seemed to hit. Of course, this game had its own little mode that we've never seen since, which was, I can't remember what it was now, I can't remember what it's called, but it's the mode where you run into a portal and you score a point. I can't remember what it was. It was actually a competitive Call of Duty mode. Blitz, I think it was called, I believe. Blitz, an interesting mode. Whether or not you guys play that, let me know down below. I didn't play it too much myself. This game, I don't believe, had a ranked mode. It might have done, but if so, it wasn't very popular, and I do not remember it in the slightest. I actually, fun fact, played UMGs on here, which you guys, if you didn't know, was basically competitive Call of Duty that you had to go outside of on another website and look for other players to play. I did get interested in that. I did try it. Gonna be honest, I lost quite a few games, but I did win some here and there, and it was quite fun to play. It was interesting to play. Typically, though, was playing like search and destroy and stuff, and also than playing hardpoint or anything like that. But yeah, Call of Duty Ghosts of 2024 does definitely hold up, and it is one that I would recommend going back and playing if you are interested in it. It seems to be smooth, the connection seems to be great, even with the lack of players. Like, there's only 133 players, at least according to the player online count, which, by the way, I do believe is also the last time we ever saw a player online counter in a Call of Duty. But yeah, this game's fun. Oh, and the briefcases. Let's see what field all we got. Earn 1 kill with a headshot. Let's see if we can get it done. It's going to be difficult, but we're going to try it. Right, he's right there. Come on. I feel like they're going to come behind me. I want to get that one headshot, because I do believe this is how you get the chem strike like that. Oh, never mind. We failed the order, but he's going to take the order now. And I do believe, yeah, you get specific map kill streaks and stuff with that. Very interesting. But Call of Duty Ghosts in 2024. It is alive, it is working, and it isn't hacked. Now, the player base isn't there, but it seems to be very easy to get into a lobby. Like, I had no issues. You saw how quick I got in. You saw how quick I was able to get in and play another lobby. I think there's just enough. Maybe there's like a raw community going on that's just enough to be able to keep this game alive and playing. But as you can see, there's not many people. I don't know whether this increases on weekends or not. For those of you who do play this game quite consistently, because I know it does happen. Lots of you told me with Black Ops 1 that you play Search and Destroy and there's a community for that. If you do play Call of Duty Ghosts and there is a community for it, let me know down your experiences. What does this game pick up on the weekends? Does this like massively pick up to 1,000? I don't think it would do, but let me know down below whether Call of Duty Ghosts, you know, picks up a little bit on the weekends, what it's like typically to play. This was just me playing on a random Monday at 6 PM UK time. And safe to say, it's pretty okay. You can come on here and play, at least on the Xbox One version of the Call of Duty Ghosts. And I'll leave you with this final thing. With these games coming back to Game Pass, or coming to the Game Pass at some point, would you want to see the Xbox One version of Call of Duty Ghosts on there solely? Would you want to see the 360 version of Ghosts on Game Pass? Or would you want to see both added to the Game Pass so you have the choice of either going back and playing the 360 version of Call of Duty Ghosts or playing the Xbox One version as well on the Game Pass? Or do you think they should just only add the Xbox One version because that makes a lot more sense because it is kind of the better version of the game? Let me know down below. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe with notifications on. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Goodbye.